Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, and today we'll be going over the UC Berkeley Cognitive Science program. So I first wanted to kind of talk about what exactly is cognitive science and why you might want to major in it. So basically, cognitive science is a mixture of six different disciplines: philosophy, linguistics, psychology, anthropology, artificial intelligence, and neuroscience. And you'll be taking at least one class from each of these disciplines. So it's a great major if you really like interdisciplinary studies. You kind of don't know what you want to major in, and you want to take classes from each of these areas. And if you're interested in like the human mind or computational modeling, it's great to kind of get an exposure to each of these disciplines. So I'm going to walk through a little bit about the cognitive science program. Cogsci.berkeley.edu covers the degree requirements, how to declare, study abroad, honors program, receiving credit for research and internships, as well as people, courses, and advising, etc. So I'm also going to go to guide.berkeley.edu, which covers it's like an academic guide, and I think it does a better job of explaining the requirements. So the first thing to know is that you have to take each class for a letter grade. You have to take at least 26 upper division units. Each lower division class can only be repeated once. You have to maintain a 2.0. You can't use two upper division classes to simultaneously fulfill requirements in a double major. And then here's a list of classes that can't be used to fulfill upper division requirements. So going more into the summary of the major requirements, you have to take 3 lower division prerequisites, which we'll get into. You have to take 6 upper division distribution requirements. You have to take 3 upper division electives. And then you also have to satisfy the letters and sciences classes as well, needed to graduate. So to start off with, you need to take at least one math class, one computer science or stat class, and one computer science or engineering class. These are the lower division prerequisites in order to declare. And before you declare, you also have lower division requirements. So you have to take Cog Sci 1 or Cog Sci 1B or N1. You have to take brain, mind, and behavior, and you have to take discrete mathematics. And there's also other options here in case you can't enroll in those classes or want to take another option. And so once you do that, then you can declare and you fill out a form and you meet with an advisor. And I'm now going to go over the upper division distribution requirements. So you have to take one course from each of the following 6 areas, and those are the areas that I talked about in the hexagon. So cognitive neuroscience, cognitive psychology, computational modeling, linguistics, and philosophy, and society, culture, and cognition. And if you're interested in any classes in particular, feel free to just click on this. And you also have to take 3 upper division electives. And if none of the classes that you want to take are on this list, you can petition to have those classes be your elective, and you'd have to just get it approved by your advisor. You do have to make a case for how they're connected to the study of the mind. So now I'm going to go into like a cognitive science journey plan. And so it kind of details for you what you might want to do your first year, your second year, your third year, and your fourth year. And the first thing you want to do in your first year is you want to just make sure you know what the major requirements are, potentially map out a 4-year plan. You want to review enrollment tips and enroll in freshman seminars that pique your interest. Then you want to connect with CogSci peer advisors to learn more. And then during the Calapalooza Student Fair, you can also explore student organizations. If you're interested in research, you can use the URAP program or undergraduate research and scholarships to learn more about those resources. And then, again, review cognitive science guidelines for studying abroad if you're interested in that. And then visit the Career Center to make sure your major aligns with your career goals. And so another thing you want to do is you want to declare your major in your second year, ideally. And so there's a sample program plan that you can get from your advisor. And then you also want to make sure that if you're minoring in something or planning to study abroad, you're taking that into account. There's also the Cognitive Science Students Association, which is a club on campus. So you can meet other Cog-Sci students in your class and make friends that way. You want to build relationships with professors and GSIs in case you want to go to grad school, and figure out what other campus organizations you might be interested in. Again, the UROP program is if you're interested in research. And then you can also earn credit for research, so that's another way to gain course credits. And then you can meet alumni through the Career Connections networking series and potentially participate in internships or externships. And so you want to be thinking about landing internships either your second or third year in college. Your third year is when you're going to start taking upper division courses. So you definitely want to make sure you're communicating with your major advisor during that time. If you're interested in the Cognitive Science Honors Program, potentially if you want to go to grad school or you're interested in research, figure out if that is feasible for you and something you're interested in. You can also attend the California Cognitive Science Conference to get a better idea of what cognitive science is. Again, if you're interested in grad school, you can apply to summer research opportunities and or fellowships. And there's also an alternative breaks program for you to go on service learning trips. And then there's also Life After Cog-Sci, which helps you explore what kind of industries you might be interested in. In your last year, you want to finish all your upper division requirements. Make sure to check in with your college advisor that you actually are on track and have completed all of your goals and nothing is missing, so you don't have to spend another semester in case you forgot something. You can also become a cognitive science peer advisor or tutor. You can teach your own decal courses, which are student-led courses on any topic that interests you. And you can also apply for fellowships. And then you want to be thinking about your next steps in your career. So getting your resume and interview skills sharp, applying for jobs, and then using whatever tools are available, like the on-campus recruiting program, for those. And if you're interested in what you can do with a cognitive science major, here are some examples. You can become an engineer, a linguist, a data analyst, a designer, a Fulbright scholar, a researcher, a logistics manager, a project engineer, a QA engineer, a research coordinator, a security engineer, software engineer, or a web developer. And for those who are interested in going to graduate programs, there's artificial intelligence, biostatistics, cognitive psychology, computer science, education, engineering, information technology, linguistics, neurobiology, neuroscience, public health, and visual and performing arts. So the great thing about cognitive science is it's so interdisciplinary that you don't have to figure out what exactly you're majoring or interested in. You can take these classes, figure out where you lean, and then apply to a graduate program in that specific area. And so to help you plan your future, the cognitive science department has an academic plan form where you can just plan out your courses, and they have the requirements here for you to make sure you're hitting all the buckets. And so now I'm going to go over my college classes. And again, I waddled a little bit. So there are going to be classes that are in the cognitive science area and the not cognitive science area. And I also have letters and science requirements that I had to complete. So each person's schedule is going to be a little bit different. So fall, I took Romanian, calculus, rhetoric R1B, and sociology 3AC. And so I took rhetoric R1B to fulfill the writing requirement. I took sociology 3AC to fulfill my American cultures requirement. I took math 1A to fulfill the math requirement. and I was interested in learning Romanian. For the spring semester, I took PE to just make sure I was staying fit. I took calculus because I wanted to. I took Romanian because I wanted to. I took Cog Sci 1 to see if I was interested in cognitive science. And then I took Chem 1A and 1AL because I was pre-med at the time. And so that's another thing to think about. You can be Cog Sci in pre-med, you can be Cog Sci pre-law, you could be Cog Sci in computer science. And so it's not just one thing you have to stick with. You can double major as well. So the next year, I took PE again. I took Education 140 AC to fulfill my Society, Cultures, and Cognition requirement. And with that was Education 97. I took CS 61A because I was interested in potentially going into computer science, and I needed to for cognitive science anyway. So I thought, why not? And then I took Chem 3A because I was also considering being pre-med at the time. The following semester, or the summer, I took Philosophy 135 for my Cog Sci requirement, as well as Music 45A because I just was interested in piano. And then that fall, I took Social Cognition for Cog Sci. Continued with PE. I took Music 109 for Cog Sci as well because I was interested in the connection between music and cognition. I took MCB 64 because I had to for Cog Sci, and I also took CS 70 for Cog Sci. The following year, I took CS 188 for Artificial Intelligence, which was another cognitive science requirement. I took LS 160B, Philosophy and Values. I took PE, and then I also took Physics for pre-med, and then Psych 148 for Cog Sci, and I was really interested in developmental psychology at the time. And the next year, I took Physics, again, because I was considering pre-med, took Linguistics 100 to satisfy the linguistics requirement of cognitive science. I took Italian 40, and then I took Biology 1B, again for pre-med. And the last semester, I took Sources of Movement. I took Modern Dance Technique and Intermediate Modern Dance Technique. I took a performance workshop because at the time I was really interested in dance. I took a grad class on Psych 240B, which is emotional, social, and psychopathological development. And then I took biology. So I hope that answered your questions. Feel free to leave any questions in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.